Well, hello there VC, hope you're all keeping very well indeed. This is my entry for Chris Propfe's Nifty 650 contest. Congratulations Chris on passing 650 subscribers. Well done mate, well done indeed. Changed my location from the man cave and even downstairs. I can't do anything there because my lovely wife's watching television, so I am out in the summer house. So, Chris, you have asked 6 questions, and I'm having to read off my phone, which is on YouTube. Show the first and last album in your collection depending on how you organise them. Well, I organise my albums via artist, solo or band, alphabetically. So it just so happens that the first album in my collection happens to be Ryan Adams' magnificent Gold album. Now, in my humble opinion, he's never bettered it. It's a superb album. He's gone down many different roads, mostly sort of country or alt-country, alt-rock. But this kind of melded, and especially with it being a debut, it melded some sort of like rock sensibility and enough great songs to get him in the charts. You know, this album made Ryan Adams. And in my very humble opinion, he's struggled to better it since. But I love this album. I love it so much. Obviously I've got the vinyl, double vinyl, single jacket. At the time, I bought the SA CD of it. Now this is phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal album. This particular one is a pure SA CD. It won't play on a standard CD player. But if you have no Ryan Adams in your collection, get this album, get the debut. It's the best. So that's the first album in my collection. The one that ends my collection, and there's a bit of a story to this as well, it would be little known UK band, The Young Knives. This particular one is still in its shrink wrap. I've got an open copy in the house there with my hi-fi, but this is their debut album. Great. How do I describe The Young Knives? At the time of this album, a Middle England 3-piece indie rock group. Nowadays they are a 2-piece krautrock sort of group, very much in the Kraftwerk vibe with the added craziness chucked in, and I love it. Their new stuff is fantastic, but very different to their old stuff. Now, I also have the CD of this, and this particular one is, gotta watch this because the CDs, it's so old. The CDs, double CD, tends to fall out of the packaging, but this one is signed by the band. House, the bass player, Tom, Ollie, the now departed drummer, and Henry, the guitarist. Tom and Henry are brothers. And total disclosure, not blowing any trumpets, but when this album came out, I was working for Transgressive Records, and I landed the job of being their admin on the Young Knives website. So great bunch of guys, still in touch with them, love them to bits. If you like your quirky English pop, not as quirky as XTC, but with a bit of grunt added in a nice melodic way, you can't go far wrong with that. Voices of animals and men, isn't it? Yes, I should know. So that's question number 1, Chris. Show an album with mostly blue in the cover is the second question. Now, I could have gone the easy route. Now, you're expecting me to pull out Miles Davis, aren't you? Another kind of blue, but no. I could have pulled out this, and I did very briefly. UK Subs, Another Kind of Blues, but I'm not going for this album. This is not the blue that I want to show you. No, the blue that I do want to show you is the fabulous, incredible Dennis Wilson and Pacific Ocean Blue. This particular one is the original release. Let's try and do it that way. Hey, there you go. Good old Denny. That's the original release. And I also have in my collection the triple album re-release on Pacific Ocean Blue vinyl. That's better. Love Dennis Wilson. Brian Wilson was obviously the big talent in the Beach Boys, and in my humble opinion, Dennis was the second best songwriter. You know, what can I say about Dennis? The guy came from nowhere, backbeat drummer, very much like Ringo, and he honed his songwriting skills listening to his brother Brian, and fabulous songs. Let's see if I can just... God, can I do this? Well, what I tend to do is keep all the hype stickers and the bump and whatnot. So, keep all that. Keep all that. Keep everything. And with this being a triple album, it's quite hard for me to actually show you everything. So I'm going to very, very gently if I can, just show you what a beautiful thing this is. Basically the reissue is a remaster reissue of Pacific Ocean Blue and the best of the unreleased stuff from that period, and also Dennis's second unreleased album, never came out, called Bamboo. If you're only familiar with Brian Wilson, grab yourself some Dennis Wilson. One fabulous album, and there's lots and lots of Dennis Wilson gems scattered throughout the Beach Boys catalogue. Absolutely wonderful. Now, Chris, you have... That was question 3, show album with mostly blue on the cover. Question 3, Led Zeppelin or Deep Purple? Now, to me, that is a no-brainer. And I'm sorry all you Deep Purple fans with your 2 hits. The guys that changed rock and roll. Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin for their mixture of folklore and fantastic guitar-laden tracks. And mystical lyrics. You know. Well done, Deep Purple. Don't want to upset any Deep Purple fans. You know, your lyrics for your 2-hit singles are fantastic. But no. Led Zeppelin it is, for me. Yeah, that's the 4th album on 180 gram vinyl. That's superb. So, let me see now. Show us your speakers. Well, with my wife commandeering the living room, can't do that, but I'm going to drop in a picture I took previously of the left-hand portion of my speaker, which is a Kef Q900 floor stander, so she stands good, so high, big, over 4 foot high. You'll see one part of that, plus the rest of my hi-fi system. Little story about the Kef Q900s. I've had them since they came out, and I got them from an outgoing Kef rep. He was just leaving the company, and at the time I worked in a hi-fi shop, and he basically said, "Ken, what do you want? What have we got that entices you?" So I said, "Well, I do need a new pair of speakers." So I chose the Kef Q900s, and I got them at a very attractive price indeed, and I'm never going to part with them. They produce a beautiful sound. So that's going to be I've either prompted the picture already or it's coming up about now. So apologies for whichever one I took. Tell me 2 albums on your want list. Now, as I haven't got them, again, I'm going to put 2 pictures in. And I think they're both going to be by Miles Davis' ex-wife, Betty Davis, the Queen of Funk. I was introduced to Betty Davis quite recently. Boy, can that girl funk it up. Awesome. So I believe I've chosen They Say I'm Different. And I believe I've also chosen Nasty Gal. If you like your Bootsy Collins, but you want to get away from the space rock and away from the funkadelic sort of style of funk, beautiful as it is, and you've not heard Betty Davis, get hold of some Betty and play aloud. Your head will explode. She could be a little bit too adult for some tastes, especially the artwork on the front cover of Nasty Gal, but the music is superb. I can say no more about that fantastic music. Betty Davis, Queen of Funk. Right, show a lesser known album by a well-known artist. Now, for me, that would be a Mr. Stephen Stills, because everybody hears about his solo work, and obviously Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young. But it seems to me that not many people have heard of Manassas. Fantastic double LP, 4 sides, side A, side B, side C, side D, and they are pure grassroots. How would I describe Manassas? Definitely grassroots. Got that southern twang to it in the style of the music. It is flipping great. Again, if you got all of Stephen's other repertoire from CSN, CSNY, and you've got all these other solo albums, grab yourself this from his grassroots band, his side project. He did do another album, and he's done another couple post Manassas. I cannot remember what the second one's called, but this is great. You need to have this in your collection. Superb. So Chris, thank you for producing a fantastic contest, and one which I've actually felt like jumping on board with. I hope you've enjoyed my little show of everything, and I forgot to show that little CD of Denny's stuff. I'll quickly show it now. Beautiful. So yeah, Chris, thank you. Really enjoyed doing this little entry for you. Details on Chris's original video will be down in the show notes, of course. So on that note, it's the Englishman saying bye all, and I shall see you elsewhere in the VC community. Bye for now.